Hello YouTube! Today we're going to work on the rust inside the tub. Somebody's been in here before us. You can see there's some discoloration here, the paint doesn't quite match, and we've got some rust coming up through. We're going to deal with that. We're going to deal with the rust right here. We're going to leave some of the little stuff alone. We don't necessarily want to take it all away, it gives it some character. And lastly,
we'll start removing the paint and rust in this area with a stripper wheel. We'll go and do this to the other three areas, and then we'll go to the next step. Now what we have to do is get the paint out of these beads, like this one here. There's no machine that'll get in there. This is a hand job. All right, let's get the rest of them. With the stripping done, we'll go to 80 grit and start feathering edges. Now we'll jump up to 120. Now we'll go to 180. And finally, 220. I think we have everything covered so that we don't get any overspray on anything. And we've got this taped off. I think we're ready. We'll do a final wipe down. We have the 49 covered, so I believe we're ready. And we'll do a final wipe down with some brake clean. We'll mix up some primer. Anybody that's been watching my videos in the last couple of weeks knows that what comes next is 3 coats of primer, 3 coats of base coat, 5 coats of clear. Here we go. Here we go with the first of 3 to 4 coats of base coat depending upon coverage. This will be the 3rd coat of 3, and I hope it covers in 3 because this is the last can I have, and I'm kind of hoping I'll have some left over so I can treat the bare spots where hinges were. This is the first of 5 coats of clear, and this stuff is finicky, it likes to run. So cross your fingers, here we go. This will be our 4th and final coat of clear. Let's take a look and see what we have. Well, maybe it'd be better to unwrap it. Let's unwrap it and take a look. Here's our close-up look at what it looks like. And although it's not a great color match, the rust is gone. And I'm happy with that. Next step, I think, is to bring the paint on the outside of the tub up to this standard. This area was buffed, a while ago when I was trying to match paint, and now we need to buff the rest of the Jeep. This is what it looks like if you look at an area that has not been buffed. What you're supposed to do is work small areas and use a slow speed. Stay away from the edges. All right, that's the rough cut. We'll rub off the residue. Then we got a little bit of a shine. Now we'll do the polish. With a new pad, we'll put some polish on here. And we'll wipe that residue off. And now a little wax to bring the shine up. And here is the after comparison. We just have to do it to the whole rest of the Jeep. See you in a little while. We have the exterior of the Jeep rubbed out, polished, and waxed. I have not rubbed out the firewall yet. That's just the finished paint that we put on it. But at this point, I kind of wish it was black so it would show off the shine. This Jamaica beige doesn't do a very good job of that. But I think it's come out pretty nice. The next question that comes up is, what do I do with these? I don't know. This is after 30 years and it's still bare metal. It's a little rusted, but I just can't leave it. I think what I have to do is tape it off very carefully all the way around. The E-coat is still here. It's not rusted at all. Tape it off, then we'll sand this carefully, every one that's on the vehicle, and then we'll primer and paint. I should buy stock and masking tape. And that's what we got to do to every hinge spot on the vehicle. May take a while. I'll see you in a little bit. We have everything taped off so I can start spraying, but I want to try to remove as much rust here as I can. So we'll start carefully with a mini oscillating sander. So this is what we've got after all the sanding, and I want to correct the tape lines from what I wore down with the sander. So I'll just put some more tape on here. And we'll go around and do that to all of them so we get a nice crisp edge, and it's hidden underneath the hinge when the hinge is mounted. We'll give everything a final wipe down with brake clean. If you watched any of my videos, you know what comes next. 3 coats of primer. And this is our last coat of primer. So we want a nice wet coat. We don't want any runs. We've waited the required 30 minutes between last coat of primer and the first coat of top coat, and now we're ready for top coat. "30 minutes have passed, and now we can start with the clear. Why am I putting clear on paint that's going to be underneath hinges? I really don't know, to tell you the truth. I could probably get away with just leaving it the way it is. But I wouldn't feel right. This is the 5th and final coat of clear. We'll wait a little bit and we can pull some of this tape off. Here's a close look at the areas that were bare metal underneath hinges, and I think it has come out pretty well. I could probably have run out a little bit further, but I didn't want there to be a mismatch in the color. So it was a little skimpy around areas that used to be paint, but it's better than what it was. This is the last set right there. And the hinges are all here and have been painted and been hanging there for weeks. Little change in pace here. These are the trim strips that run along the bottom of the body, and we're going to clean them up and polish them up. So first let's clean them up. One of these rocker panels has been buffed and one has not. They've both been washed. If you can't tell the difference, this is the one that's been buffed and this is the one that's only been washed, and now we're going to buff this one. My next step, and I don't know if it should be the final step or the next step, but my next step is the wheel. And it's not the wheel that does the polishing, it's the rouge that does the polishing. And you got to pick the right rouge for the material. Now this happens to be stainless steel, and it happens to be pretty good stainless steel. If you take a magnet, it just falls right off, but it sticks to steel. So we've got the right rouge for stainless steel, and let's get started here. A point of interest here is I'm wearing gloves, and you might think I'm wearing them to protect myself on the wheel, but the wheel's okay. What I'm protecting myself against is the metal. The metal gets hot. So I wear the gloves because the metal gets hot, and this is just a slow job. We start. And work our way down slowly until we've got the whole thing. Okay, we finish up on that wheel and we go to the next step. What I'm going to do next, again, I don't know if it does anything for the stainless steel because it's so hard. This is auto-body paint buffing compound, and this is heavy cut with a sheepskin pad, which is very coarse in today's standard. So let's just go. And this thing has 2 speeds to it, so it's tough to keep a constant speed on it. We'll change the pad and go to a final cut. And I'll turn the heater off so it doesn't make a lot of noise. This is a new pad, and this is finish cut. It's a polish. It's not a rubbing compound, it's a polish. And now we'll put some good deal wax on it. Takes a long time to get a rag saturated with wax so that you don't have to load it up all the time. Let's wipe it off and see what we got. I think that's acceptable. So here's our two rocker panels after being buffed out. I think they're looking half decent. I don't know what this mark is here, but I can't get it out right there. It's actually a divot in the steel. And I don't know why it's a different color, because it's stainless steel, should be the same color all the way through. But let's put this up temporarily. We want to put the front fenders on first. But for right now, we can just set it up in here and put a nut on it. Here's a look at what we just did. Not bad. Not bad at all. The plastic nut that holds the flare to the body is tapered. And you want the taper, the large part of the taper, to go up inside of the flare so it fits properly. All right, that's loosely in there. Let's put some more in. I think this is a good point to stop. We've got the outside of the Jeep looking pretty nice. We do have quite a bit of work left to do on the inside. We've got the dashboard, the heater, the steering console, carpet, center console, seats to go. So if you enjoyed this video, there definitely will be more.